Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the RSL Show on KSL Sports. Today, we've got everybody in the building. The room. The room.
The man cave.
The man cave. The boy cave, if you're here, bro. You got your Simba hair still, bro.
I do.
We'll get back to that. So my name's Andy Munoz. We got Isaac Munoz running the cameras. This will be video on YouTube as well. We got Joshua Clark, the founding host.
Sure.
Yeah?
We'll go for it, yeah.
And we've got, I've already said you, Alex Napolis, the intern/host.
There you go. He said it. See,
We're
said it, not
getting
me.
Well, we gotta get the Jake slander in real quick. He's waiting for it from you.
Oh, Jake Simons?
Yeah, remember you gotta continue on from last week.
Jake Simons, thanks for finding the podcast, but also no thank you for quitting and giving up on your friends and pursuing a family.
He doesn't mean that, Jake.
It just got deep.
Yeah. By the way, we've got a fifth voice here. Moses, what's up, dude?
What up, man?
What's your? Are you free to say your last name?
Yeah, Sandoval.
All right. Yeah.
Moses Sandoval.
Okay. All right. Just making sure, bro. I don't know.
I'm not that secretive.
Yeah. Don't know your history.
Yeah.
You know.
I promise nobody's looking for me.
No one? Okay. All right, cool. So Moses Sandoval, for the people who don't know, I want to call you the team barber, but like you're more than that, right? Because you cut a lot of hair for professional athletes, even outside of Real Salt Lake.
Correct.
But you're a full-time barber.
Full-time barber.
Yeah. Do you want to plug like where you're at in case people want to come see you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, currently right now, we're at our own studio. It's about 4 of us there, so just recently moved in. Nothing crazy, but we're definitely working on getting something bigger here soon. But
yeah,
come and find me.
Cool, man. Dang, dude. Oh, what's your IG?
Topdawgcutz.
Topdawgcutz.
Is that cuts with a Z?
With a Z.
That's what I like.
And dog, D-A-W-G.
That's what I like. All right.
Topdawgcutz, bro. Dude, so listen, guys, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk a little bit about Real Salt Lake, and there's cool stuff in here. But for the tactics and all that, that's at the back half of the episode. I wanted to bring in Moses because we've been following each other for a while. Yeah. And the way that I met Moses is Bofo. Correct. Sebastian Saucedo came to town. And at the time, he's like, hey, bro, I'm going to Toluca. I'm leaving Pumas. He's like, I need a little goodbye video. So I helped him with that. And in there, he's like, hey, I'm going to go. I want to do a day in the life, and I'm going to go to my barber, my good friend Moses, and I want to get that footage. We shot the footage. It was great footage, but it didn't make it into the video cut. Yeah. Not because it was like a bad haircut or you're not cool or whatever, but it was like it just didn't help the story, right? Like, goodbye, Pumas. Here I am getting a haircut. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he was a little bit bummed about that, but we made it into a reel, and I tagged you in there. Yeah. But you were a cool dude, man. Like the shop vibes were cool. Obviously, Sebastian Saucedo, probably a good friend of yours. For sure. So tell us a little bit about like your journey as, I don't know, a human being, maybe an RSL fan, becoming a barber, and then doing like these cool haircuts. Because like I said, it's not just Real Salt Lake related. Yeah. I mean, you've cut some big names. Yeah. And I just want to throw the first big name that I had seen on your IG, Christian Pulisic, bro.
Yeah. The captain.
That's crazy.
Captain America.
That's wild.
You cut Captain America.
Captain America, man.
Yeah,
Super
dude.
cool, dude.
Yeah. Do you carry the pair of like scissors in your pocket?
I mean, I still have the same comb, same clipper.
Did you frame it?
I haven't washed my hands either.
Dude, that's dope, man. So yeah, just tell us a little bit about like you and I have to assume like you're kind of an RSL fan, or maybe you are.
Not really. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I'm RSL
LAFC.
fan, man.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, man, just a little bit about you, bro, and then how did you get involved with like, you know, doing haircuts for the team? Yeah.
I mean, pretty much I feel like it all started back in high school. My older brother is actually a barber. So he's actually the one that put me on the barber game. And he's about like 10 years older than me, so we got a pretty big age difference. So he was always the one that I like really looked up to. And so he went to barber school, did the whole thing, became a barber. And at the time that he was in barber school, he like pretty much made like a little garage setup in our house. Just because like at the barber school, they would charge like $5 a haircut. And he was like, man, I'm trying to make my own money, so I'm gonna just tell everyone to come to the garage and I'm gonna charge them, you know, 15, $20. So he had a cool setup, man. He had a barber chair, mirror, station, and everything. And I was probably like 16 at the time when he was like doing all that, and I didn't really know what I was gonna do with my life, but I definitely like was pretty interested in like barbering, just because he always had people come to the house. He'd always do haircuts, and I'd always just kind of watch him. I thought it was pretty cool, and he finally wanted to go work at a shop. At the time, it was called Joseph's Barbershop. It was down in Taylorsville, and so while I was in high school and he worked at the shop, a lot of the RSL players were actually already going to that shop. So they had Joao Plata was going there, Nick Raimondo, Olmes Garcia, like a lot of like the players from like back then.
The OGs.
OGs.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the time, like, I mean, soccer, I've always been around soccer, but I was more into like basketball. So I didn't really know too much about like RSL at the time. But I definitely thought it was pretty cool that they were going to the shop, And so around the time, like my brother was like, like if you ever want to like cut hair, like I'll teach you, like just kind of learn. And I was like, you know what, like I'm down, like let's do it. So I think I turned like 17, and he ended up giving me like my first pair of clippers, trimmers, and I think that same day he like taught me how to do like a tapered haircut. So I told my friend, I was like, bro, I know how to do a taper. Come through. Came through, and I messed him up, man.
That's how it starts, bro.
Yeah, it was probably like the worst haircut ever, and at the time, my friend would go to like sports clips or whatever, and he thought it was the freshest thing ever. He loved it.
He had no idea.
Yeah, he had no idea it was a bad haircut.
That's not a bad deal then, right?
So, I mean, he liked it, and I mean, I gave him a free cut, and he was like, man, like, just keep cutting my hair, like, I don't care. And I was like, all right, bet. So I just cut him up with like a few of like my other like two best friends, and at the time, it was just kind of like messing around, And I didn't think too much about it. It was just kind of like an after school type of thing. And, as time went on, like I kept doing haircuts, and like more people at my high school started to find out, and they were like, yo, bro, like you should cut my hair. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just like start charging them like $5 a cut, So then people started hitting me up, and they were like, yeah, man, like I'll come to the house, whatever. And I was like, bet. And I mean, at the time, like, I didn't have no card swipe or, Venmo. So it was just cash only, $5. And I had people paying me in like quarters and stuff too. It was a start.
Like a credit for like hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get you hot Cheetos later or something.
It seemed like they just got out of the laundromat, and they're like, all right, bro, thanks for the cut. So I was like, all right. So that was probably like my sophomore, junior year. And as time went on, like I slowly started to get better. And I actually like grew into like loving barbering more, because at first it was just kind of like a little side gig, messing around. I had like my little call center job, so pretty much just worked during the day, and at night I would just cut up all of my high school friends. And it wasn't until like my senior year was when I got like even more busy during like high school and all that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start to raise my price at $10 a haircut. So then raised my price at $10 a haircut, and I mean, by the time I knew it, like I had a regular job. I went to school, had a job, and at nighttime just did haircuts.
Dude,
$10 is still a steal, man.
$10 is still. Yeah.
I mean, you're not charging $10 now.
No.
You're like, hell no.
Dude.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah. I love this.
And I mean, from there, like, I was like busy, man, and at the time I didn't know if I was gonna do like barbering like after high school, just because I grew up from like a immigrant family, and they always want you to do college, they always want you to do all that type of stuff, but I was never the best in school. I was just kind of like, man, I don't know if I'm trying to do college. That's too expensive, like, whatever. So during all this time, like, I would go get my haircuts over with my brother at Joseph's Barbershop, was what the shop was called. And the owner, Joseph, would always tell me, like, because I would always post up on Instagram and everything, and he would be like, man, you should just drop out and, like, do your apprenticeship with me. Like barbers don't need to have their what is
GED, high school diploma.
Their diploma. He's like, all you need to do is get your GED, and you can start working. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to hold off a bit, because I don't even know if I want to be a barber yet, Yeah. So then, I'd always go to the shop, and, like, I'd always see a lot of the players, like, Raimondo was going in there, like I said, Plata. So I was like, man, this is the shop, And then from there, like, Joseph, he would offer apprenticeships. He'd only do it, like, once at a time. And pretty much what an apprenticeship is like, instead of going to barber school, you pretty much just do your hours at the shop. Okay. you kind of just learn, and once you do your hours, like you pretty much just take your exams and you're a barber. So it's a little bit more hands-on than going to like school because you're actually like in the shop. So then once it was like my senior year, I ended up graduating, and I was still getting my cut at the shop, and I think I missed my deadline for like slick. I like signed up and everything, and I was being lazy. I was like, I ain't trying to go to school. So I wasn't really doing like much with my life at the time, just like working. And then Joseph finally hit me up and was like, hey man, I have an opening for an apprenticeship. Like if you're interested, like your brother is here, so like I'll hook you up. I'm gonna give you a steal. So I went and talked to him, and he was like, I'm gonna charge you this much and this much. Like, what do you say? And I was like, man, let's do it. So then I pretty much just started from there. I think it was probably like September, November 2016. So like when I graduated high school. And so did my apprenticeship, and I was already busy from like doing those garage cuts, so it wasn't like hard for me to like start my clientele. I already had people waiting for me and stuff, and that's pretty much how I got into like barbering after high school.
So 2016, so 2015, 2014. So maybe, as an apprenticeship or an apprentice, you see these guys walk in Real Salt Lake, you're like, whatever. But at some point, maybe there was like that fandom kind of started to set in. You're like, oh, it's Nick Raimondo, or oh, it's Joe Plata, or other players that you mentioned. At what point did like the players start acknowledging, like were they cool towards you at the front, like in the beginning, or like were they kind of mean to you, or?
Well, it was pretty funny because so when I started my apprenticeship, Joao Plata was going in to get a haircut twice a week.
Damn. That doesn't surprise me. He had a different cut every week.
Yeah, he would get a cut twice a week. And Joao, he didn't speak English at the time. I mean, he like slowly started to learn, but the owner, Joseph, he didn't speak Spanish. So since I was the apprentice, I was the one translating for him. So that's kind of how I got my in with talking to them. And every player that I've met, they've always been super chill, super humble. So from the start, I'd always be like, just be translating for him, washing his hair out, like just doing my apprenticeship stuff. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I first started off on that.
Who was the first player that let you cut their hair?
It was Joao Plata.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right.
So that's a tough one, bro.
And was it like a nervous moment for him? Was he like, I'm trusting you, or like what was happening there?
Man, it was pretty crazy. So like I said, I already knew Joao just because he'd come in twice a week.
Right.
He would dye his hair. I'd always be the one to wash it out for him, rinse his hair out. So he knew who I was, and I would just speak to him in Spanish. And, when you speak to someone in your language, they tend to feel a lot more comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he definitely knew who I was. And then at the time, Joseph couldn't cut his hair anymore twice a week just because he ended up having a kid and stuff. So he wasn't at the shop as much as he used to be. So it was just one day Joseph hit me up and was like, hey, man, Joao, it was a Tuesday, I remember, because you would kick out Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesdays to be fresh during the week. And Saturdays for game day. Yep. So it was like a Tuesday morning. The shop was kind of slow. Joseph calls me and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "Joao needs a haircut, and you're my apprentice, so you're up next. You got me?" And I was just like, "Oh man," I was scared, nervous,
no pressure.
You were like, "Yeah, I got you, I got you."
Literally,
send him in.
Send him in, man.
I got this, bro.
The scissors, dude, just like
hoping that he wasn't gonna come. I was like, hopefully he flakes, Dude,
but, that's crazy.
It was funny though, because Joseph, and I told Joseph, I was like, "Bro, are you sure? Why don't you just ask one of the other guys?" And he's like, "No, bro. You're my apprentice. You're my guy. Yep. So I was like, "All right." And he told me, he's like, "Bro, you just got to cut Saturday. Literally, you just got to clean it up." So I was like, "Oh man, all right, bet." So he came in, I was like, "What up, Joao? You ready?" Sat him down, and I remember Joseph texting him, and he's like, "Yo, did you end up getting in?" And Joao just took a selfie, and I didn't even know. And I was cutting his hair, and he just sends it to Joseph, and he's just like, "Yep, I'm in." Oh. And yeah, I cut him up, and honestly, I probably didn't even talk to him as much because I was just trying to focus on not messing his hair up. And yeah, that was the first time I ever cut his hair, and I think I was still an apprentice. I'm pretty sure at the time.
That's awesome.
Definitely scary.
It wasn't just someone who cleaned me up. Joao Plata at the time, dude.
He was big name for us.
And you knew he was gonna come with a design.
Oh yeah,
you know
he
what
had
I mean?
A different design every time.
Super flashy.
Mm-hmm.
His haircut was definitely part of his personality. So it's not
He liked to be. Oh yeah, I mean, he was all about the outfits, the cuts. You know what I mean? Like he liked to be fresh all the time.
That's cool, man. So, with your growth, starting from that, I mean, how does that? So, did you just like continue at? Is it Jose's barbershop?
Joseph's.
Joseph's barbershop. Yeah. Okay. Just by over time, I mean, I kind of want to know how this relationship was bridged, because I don't think you're just cutting at the shop. Like, I think I've seen you like go to the actual facilities to do haircuts, or you're making like house calls almost. Yeah. So, like, how are those barriers broken, and then how are you all of a sudden like the guy?
Well, at the time, I got a lot of motivation from Joseph, because he was one of the first ones to cut up like Rudy Gobert and Gordon Hayward at the time. And so that dude Joseph was like a mastermind, and he ended up getting a barber chair at the Jazz facility.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So he was cutting up like a lot of those guys over there. He even cut up like Donovan Mitchell, like his rookie year, Royce O'Neal. So he was like that guy, my guy Joe. So I definitely got like a lot of the idea from him. And going back from the Plata thing, is he was getting cut every week. So I became his Tuesday barber, and Joseph was like his Saturday barber. So it wasn't until like the week after the first time I cut his hair again, and I was like a little bit more comfortable. So I was like, yeah, bro, like, you don't have to hit up Joseph to hit me up. Like, I'll just give you my number so you can just call me, Mm-hmm. So you don't have to like go through this whole thing. And I told him, I was like, bro, like, I'll give you my number if you ever need a cut. And I told him, I was like, if you ever want me to go to your house, I can go to your house too and cut you up. And he's like, yeah, man, like, I appreciate that. And it was like literally the next day, he shoots me another text and he's like, yo, bro, I love the haircut. My teammate wants a cut. You got him? And I was like, yeah, for sure.
Any guesses as to who it was?
On the same team?
Same team.
Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I'm going. Is that where Bofo started?
So Bofo was already coming into the shop at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't him, though. Who would you think?
He was new. He just got to the team.
What year was this?
2017. Had to be 2017.
Ooh.
It's a dark year.
You want to take a stab at it, Isaac?
Producer's gonna take a stab.
I have a guess, but
Oh, wow. All right.
I'm gonna say Olmes Garcia.
Incorrect.
No,
I think Olmes was gone. Yeah, Olmes was gone.
He was gone.
Olmes was already going before that. So
Yeah.
like Olmes and like Plata, Sonny, all these guys were already
Was that the
gone.
year Yura came back?
It wasn't Europe.
All right. Who was it?
It was Pablo Ruiz.
Oh,
okay.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I
He was like
saw him on right
he,
here too.
he was like 18 at the
Yeah.
time, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
he was super young.
We're like the same. Our birthdays are like 2 days apart too.
Nice.
So,
like same year, same everything.
Same month, same year.
Nice, dude.
Everything. So yeah. So then
That's another too, man. Like now that I think about him, like
yeah.
he's always got fresh cut,
Yeah.
dude. He's got
Yeah.
like a fresh fade.
That's my
everything.
guy. He was like one of my first guys too. Joao and Pablo.
Okay.
I
all
love
right.
this. This is great.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. Yeah, I'm telling you.
So then, yeah, I cut up Pablo, and he was like freshly here from like Argentina, man. And it was funny because I think him and Marcelo always tell me a funny story that when they first got here, they used to live pretty close to here over at the, what is it called? It's like the apartments. It's like right down the street over here.
Sure.
I got to think of the name, but they told me that they went to a shop down there, and they said that it was like some old guy that went to go cut their hair, and he was just like so old that he was just like,
Oh man. Yeah.
and they got a haircut, and they said it was like the worst cut ever. So then I think like the next day or whatever, he saw Plata with his fresh cut and was like, bro, take me to your barber.
Yeah.
So then Pablo came and cut him up. Probably gave him like the best cut he's had. Like
Yeah.
at the time, he never got like a good haircut. And then same thing, I got Pablo's number, and he was like, yo, bro, like my teammate wants a cut. You got him? And then it was Marcelo. So then Marcelo started to come in, and from there, like it was like the RSO barbershop.
Yeah,
Like
dude,
we had
yeah.
Joao come in, Pablo, Marcelo, Sonny,
Yeah.
and then Savarino had really gotten to the team.
Bro, that's
So-
perfect though, man, for you, because like you said, right? Like it's easier to kind of, like you said, be comfortable, speak the language,
Oh, yeah.
like the guys. I mean, imagine going to a country not speaking the language, and you're like you're telling them
Oh,
what
yeah.
kind of haircut you want,
Yeah.
right?
It's, for sure, like especially like a place like Utah, you're like, man, there's no Latinos here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
man.
they come into our shop and they hear speaking Spanish, and they love it.
Bro, the last Latino shop that I went to was actually a recommendation from my brother, and it was like I think it was like a quarter of it was like a grocery store. I went in, and the lady was like, "Sit down," and so I sat down. This is like 2017, bro. I wish I would have known about you.
Yeah.
I sit down, and then she's like,
Was that the
"Okay."
mall?
No, it's like at a grocery store, bro.
dude.
It's like a rancho like
Rancho
market
market or
place.
something?
Is this the
Basically.
grocery store behind like Fiesta Olay, dude?
I don't know, dude. But I sat there, and then
You
she
know what I'm
goes,
talking?
and then she goes, "My daughter's gonna cut your hair. She's gonna start it." So, dude, this little girl, like 13 years old, bro, it's cutting my hair. I'm just sitting there, like, what the hell's going on? And then she came and like fixed the whole thing. I was there for like 2 hours, bro.
Oh my gosh.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But aside from that, okay, whatever. I wish I would have known about you.
That's funny.
So you got this in. Clearly, it sounds like any like new transfer, new signing, it's like boom, like that's your business right
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
So do you get
Built-in
excited?
networking.
Do you get excited when you hear about new signings because you're like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
probably gonna get that? Yeah.
I mean, as soon as there's a new signing, I go to their Instagram and I'm like, all right, gotta look at his hair, gotta prepare myself,
yeah.
because I mean, either I'm gonna cut it or someone else. But
Yeah. Have you cut Carlos Andres Gomez?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
What's he like, dude? He's a cool dude.
Yeah,
He was cool.
super cool dude, man. He's just a young cat, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
super humble, and he's funny, man. He's funny for sure.
Yeah. Good time.
He's super
So
cool.
like you gotta love what you do.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, obviously, like you said, like you started, it's so, and then I'm sure like you deep dove into barbering,
Yeah.
maybe the history. You're
Oh,
like
yeah.
looking at different clippers, where maybe like your first pair is like $60-80. Now you're like hundreds of dollars probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've fallen in love with it, but it must add another layer to do something for a team that's here in your backyard, like in your city, where these players are looked up to and respected, and everyone's got eyes on them.
Yeah.
You got to feel like some sense of like a pride in that,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like you're asking me earlier, like, do I go to the games? It's like, hell yeah, I go to the games. Like, those are my cuts on the field.
Yeah,
you know what I
dude,
mean?
That's dope, man.
So for sure, like, it's definitely like a blessing just to even like be there and know these guys, and let alone like cut their hair. So
And then of course, like friendships are forming.
oh yeah.
Yeah, like you guys chill outside of work, like
Oh, yeah.
sometimes, yeah, all that.
So I mean, one of like my first like real friends on the team was actually Bofo Salcedo.
Yeah,
He was coming into the shop at the Josephs, and we had met each other because I think he had barely signed to like the first team, so that's like when I knew him. But I never got to cut his hair. And then out of nowhere, he kind of just like disappeared. Like I wouldn't really see him at the shop anymore. And it wasn't until Pablo, he was actually giving me tickets to the game. So one day, me and my girlfriend went to like the 4th of July game or something, and we were sitting at like the family friend section, and I think like a lot of the players were just coming to say like hi to their families. So I was like, I'm gonna just go down there and say hi to like the people that I cut. At the time, it was like Pablo, Luis Silva was coming in.
great dude, man.
Yeah,
Great guy.
yeah, Luis is the man. So I went down there, was saying what's up, and Bofo was walking by, and I didn't think he was gonna recognize me, and he just like stopped and was like, "Yo," he's like, "You're the barber, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Bro," he's like, "I need a cut." Like, he's like, "Let me get your number right now," And I was just kind of like shocked. I'm like, bro, this is like right after the game, And I was just like sure, bro.
Oh, he was in uniform?
Yeah, it was like right after the game.
Still sweating, dude.
Like when the game ends and they
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that.
Did you go down like into the locker room and just like buzz him right there? Dude?
No. So then from there, like I gave him my number, and he was like, "Bro, like I'm gonna text you, like I need a barber," and I was like, "Cool." So I told my girl, I was like, "Holy damn, like that's crazy,
Yeah.
So he texted me, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, like, I want to start doing like some house calls and stuff. So like, can you start coming to like my apartment or whatever?" And he was one of like the first like players that I started to do like those house calls for. So then I think it wasn't until like 2 weeks after that I cut his hair, because they had like an away game and they were just so busy at the time. So then I finally went to his house and like cut him up, and right off the bat, like we like hit it off. We were both about like the same age, same interest, and he introduced me to like his friends and stuff, and started cutting up like his cousins and whatever. So right away it just felt like a friendship. It didn't really feel like a player to barber type of thing.
Right.
So for sure he was one of like my first like good friends on the team.
He's a solid dude, man. Like he's just so driven, and a big thing. Like when I was helping him with video. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna take care of you, dude. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, whatever you need. Like, what do you need? What do you
Yeah.
need? You know, I'm like, bro, I don't need nothing. He's like, you need shoes? You like shoes? I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good, man. Like, I don't really like shoes.
I would have told him, yeah, man, take it off.
No, but he was ready, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like, I mean, you understand it, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
as a professional, and you know, if it does turn into a friendship, it's like we've been able to, you know, Josh and I, we've been able to formulate friendships with players. It's like, you know, we're not using those people for money. You
For
know what
sure.
I mean? Like, so that's cool, bro. Like, so obviously embedded in the team, and then it sounds like more opportunities came to you. I really just kind of want to know how the whole Christian Pulisic, and maybe if you've got a story like of like the coolest player that you've cut, you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to hear a little bit more about that.
yeah. I mean, really, the Pulisic thing started with like Bofo in a way.
Really?
And the reason why was because like you said, we became really good friends. Yeah, you know, when I first started cutting his hair, to the point that he invited me to his wedding. He got married like right before he left to Mexico, and that was like the first time I met like Albert Rusnak, like Justin Glad, Aaron Herrera, like all these guys. Like they got married up in Park City, and me and my girlfriend went to this wedding, and I'm just like, bro, like what are we doing here? Like we got all these players, like, and I think the night before they had played LAFC and like beat them, and I was just like, bro, that game was wild, and now I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So then going back on that like friendship, Bofo actually introduced me to David Ochoa.
Yeah.
At the time.
It's another good dude.
Oh yeah. So at the time, David was still playing with the Monarchs. So Sebastian was like, "Hey, bro," he's like, "I have my boy David. He wants a haircut. Like, can you cut him up? You know?" So I was like, "Yeah, man, send him in." And he ended up coming to the shop, and I cut his hair. And he was like 18. He was like still pretty young. Like
Young
it
buck.
was before he's like signed to the first team. And they knew each other because they were both doing like the U.S. national team stuff with like the U20, U21s, I think, or something. So then that's how I met David. And yeah, so then David, he'd come into the shop, you know, every now and then. And, you know, once he got to the first team was like when I really would like see him a lot more, just because like I was going over there to cut his hair and stuff. And with the whole Pulisic thing, man, David got his call up with the U.S. national team. So then, you know, they went to go do their games and whatnot. And then they played in Colorado, right, for the Gold Cup. Was that
Sounds
what it was?
right, yeah.
Well, I think it was Colorado. And they had the U.S. national team was going to play a friendly here in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And I think it was on like a Wednesday. Because I remember they played Sunday against Mexico. They beat them. And then I texted David. And I was like, yo, man, congrats. Yada, yada, yada. I was like, bro, if you need a haircut, like you should come by. And he was like, yeah, bro, like I'll hit you up. So I was like, bet. So then Monday comes around. And he messages me. And he's just like, hey. He's like, can I come get a cut? Like, I'm going to Uber down there. I'm over here, like, downtown with the team. So I was like, yeah, bro, like, you know, pull up. And it was Monday, so I was off. He was, like, the only cut of the day. So I cut him up. And, yeah, he was just telling me all about, like, the camp and whatnot. And, I mean, at this time, we were already, like, pretty cool. You know, we were cool with each other. So I told him, I was like, bro, if you want, like, I'm going. I live down in, like, Salt Lake, so I'll give you, like, a ride back to the hotel if you want. And he's like, yeah, bro, like, if you can, like, please. So I was like, bet. So I took him to the hotel, and I kind of told him, I was like, yo, bro, if any of your teammates want to cut, like let me know.
Smart move, bro.
Oh,
Smart move.
You know what I
that's
mean?
so
It's
good,
one of the
man.
best sentences you've ever uttered.
Yeah. I was like, just let me know, you know, not thinking that,
Yeah.
you know, it was just kind of like I shot my shot pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like Monday or whatever. So, you know, sent him in. And I remember that same day I was just kind of hanging out with my friends. We want to go grab a drink or whatever. And he shoots me a text and he's like, hey, bro, he's like, everyone liked my cut. Like, they're wondering if you can come to the hotel tomorrow. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, man, I'm there.
Oh, that's sick.
Canceled my whole day
I was
the
going
next
to say,
day.
wipe the appointments. I
Yeah.
can't be here.
Yeah.
I told everybody, like, yo, something came up. Like,
Yeah.
I'll see you guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Rightfully so.
yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah.
So then, you know, Tuesday comes around, and this is like post-COVID. You know, I think this is like 2021. So then he tells me, he's like, yo, he's like, come. I think he's like, we have our lunch around, like, I forgot what time it was, but he was like, just show up at this time. You got to get here like 30 minutes earlier because they got to do like a COVID test on you. So I was like, okay, bet. So I packed up all my stuff, you know, just took as many deep breaths as I could. I was like, oh man, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah.
And so I get there and I meet one of like the admins or whatever, and I go to shake his hand and he's like, "What's up, bro?"
Does the bow?
Yeah, does a little like, and I'm like,
Elbow.
I was like, my bad. And he's just like, I'm gonna go take you to this room, like we're gonna do your test, and we'll wait 30 minutes, you know. So he like takes me up the stairs or whatever, and he like puts me in like this little room. But as we're like walking by, I'm like walking past all the players. They're like getting their like buffet lunch, and I'm like, I see like Zach Steffen, like all these guys, and I'm just like, bro, what? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Puts me in the room. And yeah, they like do my swab or whatever. And he's like, okay, like just gonna wait downstairs and we'll call you up if you're good.
And you're like, please,
Yeah.
please be negative. Please, come on, please, God.
Yeah, in a way, I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this, you know? Yeah, I'm playing. So then I wait like, 30 minutes or whatever. And he comes back down and he's like, all right, man. He's like, you're good to go. He's like, just come on up and I'm going to set you up. So I finally get up and it was like a different team admin guy. And he was just like, yeah, man. He's like, all the players are like in the meeting right now. So he's like, if you want, you can just get started on me. And I was like, all right, bet. So I just like, he like,
The guy just got in front of the line.
literally,
He's
that's,
like,
that's what it felt
first.
like. He was just like, I'm ready. Took his hat off. But
Oh my! You're like, who are you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
the good thing was that he was bald.
Yeah.
He just had like a beard. So he was just like, bro, I need to shave and a
Little
beard
trim,
lineup, you know?
little trim.
So I was like, bet. So he just put me.
Probably Greg.
It wasn't Greg. No. I did meet Greg though. He was in there.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, so he pretty much just like set me up in the room, and from there like I can just like hear the door open and like all the players are coming out, and then David comes in and he's like, "What's up, bro?" He's like, "You made it? You good?" He's like, "You need anything?" And I'm like, "No, bro. Like I'm all good, you know." He's like, "Bet." And like all the players are just kind of like peeping in, and I think the first person that came in was Acosta, Kellen Acosta.
Oh, nice.
And he just like sat down and he's like, "Yeah, like I'm next," you know. And I was like, "All right,
Bro,
cool."
at this point, like, okay, at this point, I mean, we know that athletes can be good at paying, but other
Yeah.
times it's like, wait, am I doing a favor here? Like,
Yeah.
who was like, how are you going to collect payment? Probably not even a thought at this point, but were you kind of worried, like, what the hell, am I going to do like 12 haircuts right now and not get
I
paid
mean,
or what?
Not really, just because I feel like the players are used to it. You know, like wherever the players go, they have a barber in that like city,
yeah.
so they know like they each got to pay. You know, unless maybe it's like the national team, they're like, yo, like we're gonna pay you. I'm sure that's happened before,
Sure.
but I had I knew the players were like, we're gonna take care of me.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how that went.
Dude, so how is that? Like, the players are popping in. Kellen Acosta's like, dibs, I get first, right?
Yeah,
Was there like a player on the roster that you're like, man, I hope this guy like sits in my chair?
for sure it was Pulisic.
Yeah.
I was like,
all right.
especially because he had the game-winning penalty the night before, or like
Yeah.
2 nights before. I was like, I gotta cut his hair. Like, this is a once in a lifetime. And Chelsea had just won Champions League that year too.
No way.
So
He was flying high.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I was like, I need this.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
But yeah, I mean, like once the players started coming in, like Acosta came in, and it seemed like the players were each just kind of like, all right, like I'll be after him. So then they all kind of started to set up like their appointment times, but it didn't really hit me until I think I was cutting up like McKennie sat in the chair, and he was like, like all these guys, like it was just like cutting up like the high school soccer team. I felt like all these guys were super humble, like just having like locker room talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Probably
just-
teasing each other too, right?
oh yeah, for sure. Just
I feel like I saw like, was there anything posted on your story or any video of it? Because I feel
yeah, I posted a little bit. Yeah,
unless maybe I'm thinking of
maybe. I
something
mean, I have to
else.
look, but I definitely did take pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it didn't really hit me until like I said, I think I was cutting up McKennie or something, and I had like Pulisic right here. Like I forgot. I think it was like Adams or something, and they were just like chilling, like talking, like
Yeah.
just like talking smack, And I was just like, bro, is this like really happening? But I just had to stay focused, And I was
That's
like,
hard
yeah.
not to fangirl at that
Yeah.
time, right? Like a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit.
I mean, yeah, like in a way, like I've been kind of used to it cutting like Real and stuff. So
sure, but this is like,
oh yeah, this
You
is
know.
top for
you gotta
sure.
you gotta act super cool.
Yeah, yeah.
but inside
you
you're
know.
screaming.
yeah, I was for sure. I was screaming on top of my lungs.
Yeah, bro.
in my head.
So and then also like too, dude, like the stamina and doing like what? How many haircuts did you do that day?
I mean, I probably started at like 2:30, and I didn't leave until like 10.
Wow.
Yeah. I did wait a little bit just because like they had like their lunch at one point, and then they had like their team dinner. So I did get like a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
But after like dinner, I did like a few more cuts and whatnot.
So you did like the whole team essentially.
A pretty good amount, yeah. Team and staff.
Wow.
Look at you, bro.
Yeah.
The guy. I love that, dude. All right, I guess just get started on me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first.
It was funny, literally.
You were like, what the hell? Who is
Yeah.
this?
Well, in a way, I was like, "Do you work here?" I was like,
Well, just some random like a room service guy just like sliding in.
he had the USA gear, so I was like, "All right, this guy is legit."
Checks out.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah. So.
What about with the new, like the new most current roster? Are you still kind of, you cutting those guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And another question too is like, have you also kind of broken that barrier of, is it only Spanish players that you're kind of like still cutting hair for, or?
I mean, a little bit of both. I do have like I feel like I'm definitely more in on like the Latino guys, but
Yeah.
I definitely got some of the English speaking, I guess I should say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm still in there because I actually go every home game. I'm over there cutting at the stadium.
Damn. So you're gonna go this Saturday?
Yeah.
to
No, I'll
cut?
be there Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Dude, we got to get a camera in there with
Yeah.
you, man. We got to do some RSL show content, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Follow you for the day.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Don't do it with any other podcast till we do it, okay? Because
I got you.
they're gonna steal our idea. They're
I
gonna
got
hit
you.
up.
I got you.
We do it the best, bro.
Yeah.
Look
I
at
mean.
the setup, dude. Look at the setup right here.
Oh yeah. I love
Yeah.
it.
We actually have a gift of clippers. You want to pull those out? No, I'm kidding. It's like what's the crappiest brand, dude? Like that you could get clippers wise, like the ones that you buy at Walmart.
Yeah.
What are those called?
Walmart.
Sure or something?
I mean, like, there's like Wall.
Wall. That's the
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah.
The thing is Wall has like the regular brand, and then they have like the professional. So like I do have a lot of Wall clippers, but it's like the professional brand. You know what I mean?
Damn,
Like the
bro.
100 and up. But then there's definitely like the Wall like $10, $15 clipper or
Yeah.
whatever.
Pull your hair more than they cut it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
So are you? I mean, at this point, you're like, you've perfected your craft, dude. Like you're a professional.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're a professional. What happens if somebody like Alex, the intern, walks in and he's like, "Hey, bro, I want to cut." What would you say to him?
Like if like what do you mean? Like
No
Just off the
appointment.
street.
Just off the street.
Oh yeah, I mean I just tell them like I'll give you my booking. I use that an app to book. I'm like, this is how you book me. I might be like 2 weeks out, but just just get in where you fit in.
Ah, dude, I love that, bro.
Is there any hope for his hair?
Yeah, look at his hair, dude.
What would you recommend he do next
Yeah,
with this
dude.
with this Lego cap he has on right now?
I think we just grab a number 2 guard and just buzz it all. And
Yeah,
then,
dude.
Just buzz it
And then we just put the RSO show on the side of his head. I think that's what we do.
Oh, there we go.
Bro, can you do a design like that? Like that sign up there, the RSL show?
We can try it. Yeah, we can try it.
That'd be sick,
I don't know. I
bro.
don't know about that one.
I'll pay for it, dude.
RSL with the lightning,
Well,
bro.
they wanted to do a mullet.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like a new age mullet.
Yeah.
They want to do a mullet.
His hair's so thick.
You could rock a mullet, dude.
I think that's like the vibe right now. Everyone has like a mullet nowadays, so I mean,
You
why not? There you go. See?
Yeah, bro.
You
I
know,
cut
when
mine.
he told us that a barber was coming onto the show, I definitely thought that he was just bringing you on to like just get me under the razor.
Mostly to
Wait, he
shame
didn't.
you.
He didn't tell you that I'm actually gonna do it.
Yeah, we
Oh,
can do
I
that.
gotta
Oh yeah.
No, man, that's cool, man. That's such a cool journey, dude. It's like we're trying this with the intern and little brother producer. It's like
Oh, yeah.
find a passion,
For sure.
roll with it. You know what I mean? Like you'd never know where it can take you, and like that's actually pretty inspiring, dude. Like that's such a cool journey. Like not knowing where this is gonna take you,
Yeah.
listening to your older brother,
Oh yeah.
and boom, like you're right here,
Yeah.
right? So you kind of mentioned, your mentor, cutting hair for, the Jazz and kind of branching out. Have you had those opportunities to branch out outside of like Real Salt Lake, or do you have any desire to?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I feel like it's kind of hard to like branch out in that way, especially like if I'm not from that city. I feel like.
Yeah.
But for like an example, I try to be like good friends with any of the players because a lot of times, sometimes they end up leaving to a different team, and I'm just kind of like, yo, if I'm ever there, like I can cut your hair, And it actually happened last year. Rusnak actually went to Seattle, and he was actually one of my weeklies. Like no matter what, I'd always come to his house, cut his hair. So once he went to Seattle, like we kept in contact. Like he's a really good friend of mine too. And I actually went out there with my friends for like just like a little friend trip. And they had a game that weekend, and I didn't get to cut his hair that time, but he actually like gave me tickets to the game, and we actually met up. I think the day after, and he got me like a jersey. And I think that same year, like a few months later, they end up playing in the CONCACAF final.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that they play Pumas. That was where Sebastian plays for.
Ah, that's
where
right.
he played
dude.
for.
Yeah.
So then, you know, I was kind of hoping that they were going to meet each other in the final because I'm like, you know, I got someone on this team. I got someone on that team. So, you know, who knows? And then they end up playing each other in the final. So then Sebastian's like, bro, like, you're coming to Seattle. Like, you're going to cut us up, you know?
That's sick, dude.
So then, you know, kind of like how you said on branching out, you know, finally that time comes and, you know, we fly out over there and I end up cutting like a good amount of like the Pumas players. Ended up cutting up like the head coach at the time,
That's
Andres.
dope.
And then the next day I ended up cutting up Rusnak. He ends up like Ubering me out to his house and he's like, yeah, bro, you know, I need a cut, whatever. And I cut him up and that same day they played the final. And we went to that game and it was dope, man. So
You got him the lucky cut, dude.
oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
man.
it was like, you know, whoever was gonna win that game, like I had somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
But we'll
yeah.
tell Albert next time you talk to him we're sorry we booed him so much last year.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I hate you guys for that. Just kidding.
No, dude, that's great, man. That's awesome, dude. That's
Yeah.
It's like the friendships, like you're saying, man. Just
Oh, yeah.
formulating those and being able to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all about networking. You know, you never know like who you're gonna meet, you know what's gonna happen.
But it's also
Networking is key, man.
Yeah.
but you also taught that lesson of like you don't get what you don't ask for,
Yeah,
right? So you're like
Sure.
you're driving David back. You're like, hey, bro, if some of your teammates, you know,
Exactly.
like, hey, and then boom, all of a sudden you're doing the whole team,
Yeah.
right? So not only a good payday, but like an experience you'll never forget.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who's like, okay, maybe was it Pulisic? Is that like the coolest player you've ever cut?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Pulisic. When Bojan Bogdanovic was playing here, I was
Okay.
actually cutting his hair for the time that he was here.
That's sick.
Shout out Demir. Demir put me on him.
Nice, dude. Oh, so you're cutting Demir too?
Oh yeah,
All of them, huh?
Yeah.
Nice, bro.
He's got the whole team.
Yeah.
What about Pablo? You cut
Pablo Coach.
Mastroeni?
I haven't cut Coach
No.
yet.
Okay.
I think I'm getting close.
That's
He
nice.
He just buzzes, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets a nice little clean cut.
What about the
So-
staff, dude? I feel like the staff, which kind of like, you know, like they'll weasel themselves in. You know.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure. I mean, like, in their eyes, it's like the team first. You know what I mean? So
of
like,
course.
I cut up like the equipment manager and
Yeah.
like the equipment manager's assistant.
Okay.
So they get in like while they're training. They're like, "Yo, bro, like, let me get in
Dude,
real quick."
We got to get Trey down to him.
Bro, they're like, all right, just run these drills back. We'll be right back.
Literally.
Go ahead and do 17
Yeah.
miles.
Moses, follow me
Yeah,
back here, bro.
Literally, they just sneak me out real quick, and they're like, "Yo," like, shh. I'm like, "All right,
Dude.
I can't say no," you know.
No, dude. Oh, that's so good,
Yeah.
man. Who's like the best haircut you gave to like from the stylistic and keep it within the athletes? Like, was there one haircut that you did and you were like, damn, that looks good? Or is that every haircut?
Yeah, I feel like it's every cut, man.
Sheesh.
I mean, one of my favorites, I feel like, is definitely Demir.
Yeah.
Demir's really particular about his hair.
No way.
Yeah, he never cares. Like, I mean, obviously he's always gonna love the cut, but he's the one that's like the most particular. But I feel like I ice him up every time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, he looks good, bro.
Yeah.
You doing house calls to Demir?
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, it's crazy because like once I was working at that shop Joseph's for about 2 years,
Yeah.
and then ended up moving to the shop that you went to go film Sebastian,
Yeah.
which is over here, kind of like more on the east side.
Yeah.
And I was over there for about 4 years, and by that time I was already cutting up like a lot of the players. Like I was doing like house call after house call, and I mean I live in Salt Lake, so I was going to like Harriman, like Draper, Sandy, and I was just like, damn, like this is kind of getting a little bit tiring, you know.
Yeah.
So then going back on like the motivation of like my mentor of having like a chair in the facility, I started cutting up Demir, and then I started cutting up the equipment manager. And I was talking to the equipment manager one day, and he's the one that told me, he was like, man, he's like, you cut up a lot of our guys, huh? And I was like, yeah, man, I do. And I don't even know how it came up, but I told him, I was like, you know, eventually, like, I think I want to have like a chair in the facility, but like I just don't know who to talk to, you know?
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, well, you might be talking to the right person.
Nice.
And I
man.
was like, for real? And he's like, yeah, I'll see what I can do. Like, I'll go ahead and like talk to the front office or whatever. So I was like, all right. And he came again to get a haircut. I don't think he's like said anything about it. So I was like, oh, it's probably not gonna happen, And I think it wasn't until like his like other haircut, he came in and, cut him up like normal and just nonchalant. He was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna put the chair in the facility, and I'm like, what?
You're jumping on the inside, but you're like,
well,
not, yeah.
Me and him were cool, so I was literally like jumping. I was like, are you for real? Like, you serious? And he's just like, yeah, man. Like, do you need anything or like what? And I was like, well, bro, like, going back, I still had like the chair and the mirror in the garage from the garage days.
Yeah.
And it's like an actual barber chair. Like, it wasn't like no like stool or nothing. So I told him, I was like, bro, I already have a chair. I have a mirror. Like, I just need a space.
Bro, stop it, dude. You brought the original OG chair?
The OG chair, bro.
No way,
OG
dude.
chair.
That is so dope,
So
dude.
Is that down in Harriman?
It's in Harriman, yeah.
Dude.
Wow.
So then from there, I think he came and got a haircut on like a Wednesday, I want to say. And this is already towards like the end of the season. I think it was like 2019. And he was like, bro, we have like a white van. Like, we like put all our stuff in. He's like, I'll just come to your house. We'll like put it in. And then the next day just come early and we'll like set it up. So he literally just drove to my house down in Salt Lake. Me and my dad like helped him like put the heavy ass chair on the thing, the mirror, and he was just like, all right, bro, we'll see you tomorrow.
No way.
So then next day he comes in and we set up the chair, and like by this time I was already cutting up like Demir, like Savarino, Rusnak, like a lot of the big dogs. So I mean, I already like it helped that I already knew them, because I was just like, it's kind of like nerve wracking going into like a place like that, And yeah, they put me in like a little room, and that's pretty much when I kind of started having the chair there. Yeah.
What does your brother feel about this? Is he jealous a little bit, or is he proud of you?
No,
He's
he's
gotta be proud,
definitely
bro.
proud, man.
Yeah.
Like,
What's his name?
Jesse.
Shout out Jesse, bro.
Shout out Jesse.
What
Love
a
you, bro.
brother, bro. What a brother, bro.
That's the GOAT, man. If it wasn't for him,
Yeah.
you guys would have somebody else in this chair.
Yeah, that's actually your barber chair right there. No, I'm kidding. Nah, dude. Nah, that's cool, man. But what was your question, Josh? How's your brother feel about it, right? Like, he's proud?
Oh, yeah. He's definitely proud, man. Like, he's super happy for me for sure.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much how it started. And like I said, Demir, he's like the captain. So, he was really the one to be like, all right, you're just going to come these days and these days. So, I think, like I said, it was towards the end of the season. So, for sure, because I had the chair over at the facility. And then that was like, I think it was like an away game or whatever. And I didn't know this, but they train at the stadium the day before the games. Mm. So I was like, how am I going to like bring the chair over, or like what?
Yeah.
So then I got to the stadium one day, and the equipment manager was like, yeah, we actually have like a older barber chair here, because there used to be, I guess Kyle Beckerman used to have like his barber come in at the time, like way back then.
Wow.
So like
What a
that barber,
boss.
I don't know who it was, but he just like left the chair there, I guess. And he's like, you can just use this chair. So I was like, all right, bet. So then we like put it into like one of the rooms that is not being used during non-game days. So whenever they play at home, I'm cutting at that chair, and whenever they play away, I'm over in Harriman.
It's incredible, bro.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Bro,
I'm
thanks,
not
bro.
even your
Bro's
brother,
got
bro.
2 chairs.
Yeah, 2 chairs.
He's got 2 chairs.
So
That's
most of
sick.
the time I'm in the stadium doing the cuts, because like for sure every home game everyone's getting a cut.
Yeah.
For the away games, sometimes it depends. Like sometimes they don't get a cut, because they just got a cut like the week before.
Sure.
So every now and then I'm in Harriman, but a lot of times, like especially now that the season's like starting up, I'll be at the stadium a lot more.
Yeah. Cool, man. Dude, what a story, bro.
That's super
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's so cool, dude.
Thank you, bro.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
yeah.
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
man. Damn, I didn't know it was like that, dude.
Yeah.
I just thought you were working out of the shop.
No,
and
man.
You got
And I mean, I still
chairs.
do my house calls, whenever I'm like busy. But shout out Demir, man. Demir's like, he's like the captain on the field, but like he's the one that's sending the group chats like, yo, Moses is gonna be here. Like, let me sign you guys up. And literally, like, I can literally show you the picture of like all the names. Like,
He's also the cut captain. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Literally.
bro. I love that because everyone's got to be fresh, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude.
you can't go to a match. Dude, I was watching an MLS match this last weekend, and somebody's hair was like literally grown out. Like it looked bad, not on RSL, but I was like, a different team. Like, damn, bro, like what happened? Like missed the barber or something, right?
Yeah, man.
Look at Alex. Hearing these cool stories doesn't want you to get a, you don't want to go get a
Maybe
haircut.
we'll see.
Maybe.
He's young, man. He
It's
doesn't
difficult,
understand
bro.
the value of a good haircut yet.
Dude, yeah, man. So who I don't want, we're not gonna, we're not gonna drag anybody. I don't even want to ask this. I was gonna say who's a super diva about their hair. Maybe it's Krylock because you kind of mentioned that. We could just leave it that. You could wink at us. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, no one's like. I feel like honestly, truthfully, no one's ever like.
Everyone's chill.
Everyone's chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not gonna.
Just the thing
slander.
is about Demir. Demir knows what he likes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So he's always like this, and this. But at the end of the day, he loves it.
It's so cool because Demir's such a nice dude.
He's
and
the nicest
with
guy.
his hair, it's like, man, don't mess it up, right? He'll karate kick you, bro,
Oh,
into
yeah.
the goal, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
I mess him up, he messes me up.
Dude, what a cool story, man.
Yeah, man.
So just keeping it basically like, yeah, I mean, dude, you got your chair settled, bro. It's and I mean, you got your chairs there.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be you for a while. I feel like
It's pretty cool because I mean, right now my chair over in Harriman, it's kind of just like in like the players' lounge, so it's just kind of like in a room. Like they don't really use it as much anymore. It's just kind of like where they're, they like pick up like their snacks and whatever. But they're actually working on actually putting like a little mini barbershop in like the locker room over there. So I'm hoping that can happen sometime.
That's
soon.
a good thing though. That's going to attract players to come in, right? Like that's a good thing to have for future signings, in my opinion.
yeah.
It's great. It's a great attractive piece for the club.
Oh
A
yeah.
little selling point, bro.
And I feel like, RSL, I don't want to say they're behind on stuff like this, but I've seen like other teams actually have like that already. Like
Yeah,
barber
you can
chairs.
say they're behind on stuff like that. It's okay.
I mean, I'm just saying like I feel like
It's a safe
they
space.
should already have like this type of
Sure,
things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to look at the camera and say that real quick? Just
Suddenly we
just
find
like
out
that.
his chair's gone.
yeah, dude. Nah, bro, no, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do you like that. Within the league, MLS.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in a room full of Hispanics except for Josh. Are there players like in the league that, hey, maybe you cross paths, like it'd be dope to cut their hair? Like, is there anybody in the league that you'd love to like cut their hair?
Oh yeah, I feel like every team has like their star player.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, man, it'd be cool to like cut that player, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like anybody, really.
Anyone
Oh yeah.
up to the task?
Yeah. up to the task.
Chicharito.
Oh yeah. Get him in my chair.
Yeah. Carlos Vela.
Everybody.
Everybody. All right. Cool, man. Well, dude, I love this episode. This is already like one of my favorite episodes.
This is
bro.
up there for sure.
We got to get you back. We got to get you back to talk like tactics and all that fun stuff.
I love the day in the life idea.
Dude, yeah, for real. I want to do that.
For sure.
Probably not this home match, but we'll.
I mean, I feel like it'd be easier for you. You're already, you're in there. You know what I mean?
I'm in there. Hey, you guys hear that? I'm in there.
He's
You're
in
in.
there.
I'm in there. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing like behind the scenes shooting for KSL this weekend at the stadium. So, which side do you sit on? Do you sit over?
Usually like at the games.
Is it like, are you kind of closer to South Goal, like over here, or?
Usually.
More towards the north, I think, is the friends and family section. Yeah.
Well, normally we're over there. Sometimes we're over there, but lately we've been sitting closer to the bar, which
Yeah.
is
There
like
you go.
section 14.
Yeah.
All right.
We love it there.
Cool, man. So you're a Real Salt Lake fan at heart.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
like 1,000%.
1,000%.
What's your favorite RSL moment that you can remember?
I feel like in recent times, and it's crazy because like, if you go to the facility, they posted like a whole bunch of like new pictures from like moments in RSL.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of the most recent ones was when Demir put us in the playoffs against Kansas City
Okay.
last minute.
Right there, the miracle.
There you go.
Miracle. Yeah.
I didn't even see
bro.
that. That I feel like, dude, I was literally like on the floor watching the game, like, oh my god. And then he scores that. I went crazy.
That's dope,
It was
bro.
crazy.
So you're a fan,
Oh, yeah.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
through
yeah.
and through.
We love it.
You have any Real Salt Lake tattoos yet?
You know what's crazy? I was gonna say like I want one soon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put one on my leg or something.
Yeah, bro. Hit up Josh, man. He's got great ideas for RSL tattoos. I think so. Right?
I do have one.
Yeah.
What do you have? Let's see it.
Which one? The shin?
No problem. I have two actually.
All right. Oh, he's got
Oh,
the
that's
established, the lion.
Yeah.
I feel like
Then
since
I
we
got
video,
18
should
on
show
my
this, but-
thigh.
Yeah, he's got
Okay,
18
that's
on
dope.
the thigh.
Yeah.
Like the number. It
Like
looks
they
like
used to be on the shorts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a
Looking at
drunk
lettering,
tattoo.
It's pretty dope. Yeah.
I was very
think
drunk.
what was it? Was it last season when RSL made it pretty far, or 2 seasons
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah.
2 seasons ago.
Western Conference final. Yeah.
I like told myself if they win it, I'm gonna get an RSL tattoo.
Yeah.
Just
But-
do it anyway.
Yeah, you should do it anyway, man.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we're gonna
do it.
He's gonna get the tattoo. You're gonna get the haircut, bro.
Okay.
Alex.
All right.
All right.
But I gotta pick it, right?
Yeah.
I gotta pick it. You have to do something like that.
Like Demir's hair?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Bro, we should just give you like a just Demir haircut, like the standard everything.
Wait, actually, can you cut me up like Demir?
Oh yeah.
We'll do that. You get the Karate Kid. I'll get the haircut.
That'd be
Cool?
sick.
Cool.
All right, yeah. Yeah,
You're not in the position to make deals, dude.
I know, man. I know.
I thought you were the intern.
Moses.
He is. He is.
Here we go.
He's
Here
the
we
intern
go.
now. He's gonna get upgrade soon. All right. Anything I missed, bro? Anything like anything crucial that you want to like throw out there? I mean, we already talked about your barbershop, your upbringing, dude. One of the coolest stories. That's the power in networking. If you're listening to this and like you're a Real Salt Lake fan, you're not happy in your life, dude, just network, get out there, throw yourself out there, ask questions. Like, you don't know what could happen, bro.
I mean, the worst thing that can happen is someone just say no.
Exactly.
That's what I told myself. You know.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly, bro.
yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for your time, dude. Dude, I'd love to have you back, bro. But we're gonna do the behind the scenes cutting the hair, bro.
Oh yeah.
And let's do it on a day where the players are coming in.
Yeah.
I could set it up with Trey. I'm sure they would be fine with it.
Yeah.
As long as the players are cool with it. So
I'm sure they are. I mean, they're all super cool.
Yeah, I'll coordinate with you, man. But remember, no other podcast will we do.
Yeah,
okay?
man.
All right.
I appreciate you guys having me for
The
real.
#1 podcast, bro.
Thank you.
Moses Sandoval at Topdawgcutz with a Z.
Topdawgcutz.
Topdawgcutz.
Yep.
My bad, bro.
You're good.
Topdawgcutz.
I love it, dude.
There you go.
Bro, if they go there, can they click on a link and schedule a haircut with you?
If you go on my Instagram, I got my Booksy link on there. Easy.
Dude, and we have a lot of people who are like, business owners or maybe like on the same caliber as, making the kind of money that some players are making. So do you only do house calls for like players, or if you have like a client that could pay the price, like are you going out to their house?
Yeah, if you can pay the price, we're in there.
Cool, man. We won't say the price because, it's between you, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't want the show to age and inflation, all that weird stuff. All right, guys. RSL show on KSL Sports. Moses, you've been great, bro. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank
Much
you for
love
having
towards
me.
your way, bro.
Thank you.
I hope you roll with this, dude. I hope it's like for decades. I hope you, man, to the moon, bro. Like I wish you all the success and luck, bro, for real.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.